Before I dive into this actual video, I do plan on making a documentary style to this actual concept of what I want to talk about pertaining to the subject matter. Now, what's going on, everybody? To all my gamers and gamers, it's your boy Kano, the brutally honest gamer, and I'm back with another video. Let's get it, let's go, let's talk about it. So, what is going on with PlayStation? Okay, if you look at it like this, before I played a lot of Xbox, I was heavy on the PlayStation consoles and on the Nintendo consoles, the Sega consoles, all of that, because I'm an all-around gamer at the end of the day. When it came down to PlayStation, my favorite games that I played on the PS1 was the Crash Bandicoots, the Bushido Blades, the Brave Fencer Musashis, the Spyro the Dragons, the Soul Reavers, the Legacy of Kains, Croc, Frogger, just to name a few. Now, the greatest generation for PlayStation was the PlayStation 2, where they had the Sly Coopers, where they had the Jack and Dexters, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Kill Switch, even my favorite shooter from that generation, Killzone. Even though people trashed it and it did have some issues, but the PlayStation 2 was the greatest generation when it came down to gaming with the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3, there was PlayStation All-Stars, then you had the Uncharted, then you had the Last of Us, then you had Resistance, Infamous, and then PlayStation 4, all we really got was the Horizons. We got the remasters of the Last of Us Part 1, God of War from 2018, and then now we're in PlayStation 5 on this generation of like, what is going on, because there is a lack of first-party titles at this point. And when we look at the whole dynamics of what's actually going on with Sony at this point, I feel like Sony has kind of lost its way after Jim Ryan took the helms of it after Sean Layton. Either, I forgot if he got fired or he stepped down, one of the two, I don't remember. But like I said, there's going to be a real lengthy documentary that I'm about to create, that I'm in the process of creating now, and it's going to be a while that I get this together. I got to do extensive research and put all this together, so y'all definitely stay tuned for that. But anywho, now, when you look at Sony and pertaining to what's going on with PlayStation 5, there has been a lot of things that went wrong. We've seen numerous layoffs. We've seen Jim Ryan finally step down from the whole ordeal of what he was and what his position was when it came down to Sony. And right now, there's going to be a new CEO around March, I believe. Now, when it comes to Sony, I am not going to be speaking on the console because I don't care about the console sales. My gripe that I have with Sony right now is the games. And the problem that I have with Sony as far as pertaining to games is concerned, Sony has a problem of a diverse lineup of gaming. What we've been getting as far as games is concerned is a third-person, over-the-shoulder, narrative-driven quick time events about somebody's dad or uncle. That's what we've been getting. Like, if you look at Spider-Man 2, honestly, the gameplay was good. Graphically, it was amazing. But the story was iffy. It was iffy to me. It wasn't the best storyline to me, in my opinion. It wasn't better than the first Spider-Man. That's, game. That's just my actuality looking at the whole thing. Then we had leaks with Insomniac, with what Insomniac is doing, which they're turning into a Marvel studio, which I am not happy about, because I like to see something new. I want to see something in depth with new IPs or going back to their original franchises. Hell, they could have made a Sunset Overdrive 2 and make it a PlayStation exclusive. I would have been fine with that. I would have played Sunset Overdrive because I love Sunset Overdrive. But come to find out, Sunset Overdrive 2 was canceled. And they was going to work on a Resistance 4, and that's been canceled. Now, to every PlayStation fanboy saying that doesn't see anything wrong with Sony, is really lying to themselves based off the fact that Sony has lost its way when it comes to diversity of gaming. You feel me? And I'm tired of playing the narrative-driven games over the shoulder about somebody's dad or uncle. I want to play games in different experiences. What Sony is lacking is they're lacking first-person shooters. They're lacking more type of platformers outside of the Astro Playroom game or whatever. You feel me? Or they could have made a sequel to Sackboy. That sounds a pause moment. But Sony is lacking the dynamics of what gamers originally loved from the PlayStation 2 generation. The PlayStation 2 generation had a diverse lineup of exclusives. Most of the exclusives was third party, that's no lie, but they had a diverse lineup of exclusives. And the problem that I see with Sony right now, they lack that. And with their first party lineup going into the direction of games as a service is not a good look for Sony at all. And I know people are, the real fans of Sony is going to call them out. Me personally, I'm a fan of gaming. If I see something wrong, I'm going to call it out. That's just me. But when you look at Sony right now, there's a lot of things that's wrong with Sony within this generation. Forget the console sales. I don't care about the 50 million console sold. That's cool and all that, but I don't care about that. I'm looking at it from a standpoint of games and upcoming games that are actually coming out from this point forward. We don't even know what the roadmap is for 2024 when it comes to their first party lineup. We see the leak for Insomniac Games being turned into more of a Marvel Studio type of division, which personally I'm not happy about because I want to see new IPs. I want to see Ratchet and Clank make its return, which might be in the next generation. You feel me? And then when you look at Naughty Dog is taking years in advance to create different games. And what we've been getting this generation alone, we've been getting The Last of Us Part 1, which we do not need. We got The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, which we do not need, which they put lost levels and some lost stuff within the game, which personally, that could have been DLC or free DLC for the whole thing. But instead, they want us to pay $10 for The Last of Us Part 2 if you already have the game, or pay it in like $50. With taxes, probably about $56 or $57. It just depends on where you at. I'm personally not happy with the direction that Sony's going. And if we see there's any truth to a rumor of Horizon Zero Dawn getting a remake or remastered, I'm not going to be happy about it. And a lot of fans, not fanboys, should be unhappy calling Sony out with this whole ordeal. And that's just the whole fact of the nature. Like Spider-Man 2 was cool for what it was, but the story was trash. I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat it no more. The story wasn't hitting on nothing like that. It wasn't a wow factor. The Last of Us Part 2 story was trash. Why would you kill Joel off on The Last of Us Part 2? You could at least kill him off either on the third one, because we know The Last of Us Part 3 is gonna be the final of the series. And then we got an Uncharted remake coming. Like, the key thing that I see what was wrong with Sony this generation is the one key person. He's leaving. I'm glad he's leaving. And that's Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan is leaving Sony, and that's a good look. Hopefully we get somebody better that plays video games, because Jim Ryan does not play video games. He's just a business-minded man, just like Don Matrick was for Xbox during the Xbox One, early Xbox One days. But if you look at what's going on right now, Sony has to do its justice. I would say promote Herman Hoyst as the next man up from Jim Ryan, because I believe Herman Hoyst, he plays games. You feel me? He's like the Phil Spencer of PlayStation. So, and you know Phil Spencer, he actually plays video games. Now, what do I like to see from this point forward with Sony is diversify their games, make different styles of games. Instead of just getting that narrative-driven games, make more games that's in a variety of ways. First-person shooters, more third-person shooters, or something like that. More hack and slash exclusively. You feel me? We know we're going to get a Ghost of Tsushima. We know it's going to be over-the-shoulder, you know what I'm saying, third-person hack and slash in that sense. We know we're getting that. But Sony has to do its justice by giving the fans what they want. The live service games like Fair Games, I know for a fact Fair Games is not going to do that well. It's definitely not going to do that well. It's going to be a beautiful looking game. It's not going to do that well. Then you got a lot of these games that's getting canceled that's live service based, because people are not looking for live service games in that area. If you look at live service games, the only games that's still going strong is Fortnite and Apex Legends and Call of Duty Warzone. Games like Lawbreakers, it failed to bring an audience to your platform. You feel me? What makes Fair Games and Foam Stars and Helldivers 2 or any other games as a service be that niche for people to want to stick to that platform for long periods of time? Sony's known for being more in that first party realm of single player games, and that's what made PlayStation hot and PlayStation 3 had to a degree. If you wanted to do something that's worthwhile to make it half live service and half storytelling, what they should have had done was make Resistance a single player narrative like Gears of War and put that live service multiplayer on the back end of that. That would have flied a little bit better. Or if they would have did The Last of Us 2, they would have bought factions within the mix of it, which that ended up being an epic fail in a major proportion. Right now, personally for me, I'm not happy with Sony. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, Sony's doing this fantastic job. We got the best games in the world. No. That's why I play a lot of my time on Xbox. And honestly, I'm an Xbox guy, but I love all games. At the end of the day, I have a PlayStation 5. I play certain games on PlayStation 5. Only reason why I play the PlayStation 5 is because of the exclusives. I don't play too much of multi-platform games on the PS5. I play multi-platform games and exclusive games on Xbox. I play exclusive only games on PlayStation, and I play exclusive only games on the Nintendo Switch. You feel what I'm saying? At this point right now, Sony's going to have to make a drastic change to give the gamers what they want, and that's actual single player games that's diverse, that's different, and not the same type of games that we've been getting. Because when we seen the leak for the Marvel game, what was that, Marvel Wolverine game, it to me, it felt like the same thing that we've been getting. It's nothing unique. It doesn't make me excited to play the Marvel Wolverine game. You feel me? And then let's go back to The Last of Us. We've seen The Last of Us factions or The Last of Us Online get canceled. And now we don't even know what Naughty Dog is doing at this point, because they're giving us The Last of Us Part 2 remaster, which we don't need. The Last of Us Part 1, we don't need. We didn't need it at all. And the problem that I see with Sony is they lack a direction of what gamers want. Jim Ryan took the helms and basically made Sony go downhill from there. The question is, can Sony rise from the ashes and create single player games that's worthwhile again? Because Microsoft is about to take over the game in 2024 and beyond with all their exclusives coming out. And Microsoft got Activision, Blizzard King, got Bethesda. They might acquire more studios. You never know what they're going to do. And they got a lot of exclusives coming out, including that upcoming one based on the Wu-Tang style. That seems hella dope and hella impressive. They got an alliance with Sega. That's impressive. That is dope as hell. Bethesda's working on Avowed. I got to see gameplay, but I'm kind of sold on it a little bit. Hellblade 2. I want to play Hellblade 2. That's figgity facts, no fiction. You feel what I'm saying? Then you got Fable that's coming out. You got Microsoft got so many exclusives coming out. It's going to be worthwhile. It's going to be dope. Nintendo got so many exclusives coming out, and they got their new Nintendo console coming soon. So it looks like 2024 is going to be the year of Microsoft and Nintendo. Sony going to have to step up and get it together. But that's all I really got to say about that. And I'm just being honest. Sony's going to have to make that change and get it together. This ain't no fanboy talk, because I'm not a fanboy into gaming. I'm neutral with it. I'm just being realistic, you dig? If you like what you heard, leave a comment below. If you don't like what you heard, leave a comment below. Let's go ahead and talk about it, you dig? Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell for when I drop these videos, you dig? I'm out. Peace.